All right, welcome everyone. We are here at Representative Tarra Simmons' 23rd Legislative District campaign kickoff. As you can see, all right, there's a lot of people here. So it's filling up. You can see folks are coming in. Tarra has done quite a bit over her first term. Yeah, it is a beautiful setup for sure, no doubt. And let's try to check out everything here. Let's check out and see what's going on here. So we're just going to kind of scan around so you can see who's who. Like I said, the turnout is fantastic here. This lodge is beautiful, by the way. If you haven't been out to this lodge, from how I understand it, there's weddings and other things. You can see there we are, Sabrina and Alicia, and myself and Keisha on there in the background. So crew today, we're doing it, turning up. We don't have our horn, but yeah, we're here for the day. So we're so glad that you can join us. And we're just gonna, just follow the events all night long. You may even be able to ask Tarra questions. If any questions come in, we will kind of put that out for her and see if there's a space for her to answer questions. Yeah, so I'm getting good there. And so as you can see, folks are filing in there. They're coming on in. This place is packed already. So really great turnout here. And what's really important about the political process is we need to be involved. Many of us have been involved in the process. We may feel disenfranchised. We feel like just going and voting for someone, they're all the same. Whether it's a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, gets done in Congress. So, when you feel that way, you can say, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm not going to try. What's the point? There's no use. But we do more than ever now. We have to make the change. And the change comes by making your voice heard, being involved, and then holding them accountable. Right? It's up to us to do that. And so if they're elected, whether or not it's the person that we want them to win or not, we have to hold them accountable. We have to ask the hard questions. If they campaign on something that they said that they were going to do for us to make some change, then we need to absolutely hold their feet to the fire and say, hey, did you get those things done? If you didn't get those things done, why didn't you get those things done? So it's crucial and it's critical. And I'm hoping that the conduits, I don't have it all in the fight, right? But the conduit's position is bringing access to you out there, right? In the hopes that you will participate in the process, that you will ask the hard questions, that you will hold people accountable, that you will make them do what they said they wanted to do for the constituents, and we are the constituents. There's so many of us, unfortunately, maybe we supported that person either with dollars or maybe went door to door, and once they get elected, you kind of fall back a little bit and say, okay, we know it's hard in Olympia, but that isn't good enough. It's not good enough. Your ideas, our ideas, we the people, I think is where that change is going to come from. We say that, Congress is stagnated, it's not bipartisan, it's very partisan. Experience, and because of that, nothing gets done. Involved, And a big part of getting involved is understanding that there are, what's going to sound like Trump, good and bad people on both sides. It doesn't matter. What you're looking for is dialogue, an opportunity to listen, not just to hear, not wait to jump in and make your point or your counterpoint or your talking points, but an actual opportunity to really understand what it is the other party is talking about. And I think that we miss out on that a lot, but it's a really missed opportunity. You know, in negotiations, we think of a negotiation as a zero-sum game, right? If I win, you lose. If you win, I lose. And it doesn't have to be that way. What can happen is if we listen, is we can identify what the other party is really saying or what it is that they absolutely need. You know? So I think a lot of times it's like whatever they're advocating for, whatever their position is for, that's not your position, and so you automatically are like, you know what? I'm not trying to disagree with that. I'm not even looking at how you derived, how you came to that position. I just care about the reason why you feel the way that you feel about that issue. If you understand, if you listen, if you have a grasp of what that other party's needs are, what their concerns are, we may be able to solve their problem while solving their problem simultaneously. You know, we talked about it on Tipping Points and Public Pieces on Wednesday, and we talked about the coming together of it, the having the conversation, hearing each other out. And yes, the other side has to be willing to listen to you also. There are people that are willing to have those conversations and do those things. And when we look at, we can say Maslow's hierarchy, right? Food, shelter, things of that nature, but beyond that, right? We want safety, we want health care, we want good paying jobs. You know, we want security for our children, we want our families to be safe, we want to be able to grow and thrive. And so, from a general overall standpoint, that's what we would say everybody wants, right? I think that's realistic and practical. Now, the question is how do we get there? And so, we look at the beginning, and then we go to the end, and somehow it's so divergent that people are on the opposites of each side, but we don't discuss where the fork in the road was or why the fork in the road existed in the first place. And I'm not saying that through conversation, you know, everyone is just going to be kumbaya and it's like, yeah, I see your point. Oh, I see your point. Well, we all think the same way. No, it's not going to go that way. But I think there are so many more opportunities for us to do things together. And one of those things I would say is not to negotiate based on lumping things in. So, you know, saying, hey, how you doing? You know, saying, hey, I won on this point, and I won on this point, so now, you know, you can't win on this point, you got to lose on your point. It doesn't have to be that way. Point should be negotiated on convoluting it and throwing other things in there, right? And you see that in Congress all the time where they, you know, they have this bill and there's all kinds of pork and, you know, other things in there. We don't read these bills. We don't know all these other things are in there that you look. Like, how did that get into the bill? What does that have to do with, you know, homelessness or health care? And so if you pull those things out and say, you know what, it may take a little bit longer. We're just going to talk about this particular issue, and that's it. Whatever we come to, that's what we come to. Now let's go to the next issue. We're not saying, hey, you know what, I'll give you this, but you're going to dump this in here, over here for, you know, the military complex, let's say, right? Healthcare, that is so tense. You know, we can't stop doing that. I think that would change quite a bit also. You know, just make it issue by issue, and not kind of lumping those things in and convoluting the negotiation and the conversation. So, yeah, it's a great day. Lisa, do you want to say anything? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm agreeing with a lot of what you're saying. We do need to break things down a little bit more in Congress, and they do need to get the with a better I think, me personally, they should get they can't all agree on something when it comes to passing bills and getting things done for the people, because that's when they work for us. If they have the audacity to shut down the government, then their paycheck should be shut down too. So maybe that's something that should go into.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think of the turnout?
Oh, it's a real big turnout. It's so many people. It's hard to, you can even see when the cameras aren't even there. It's like waves and waves of people. There's lots of support for Tarra. This past election and to do great things for not just our community, but for the United States.
So my hope is that, by broadcasting events like this, younger people that right now are kind of laying down, that's kind of the terminology right now, and they're kind of taking over society, they're feeling disenfranchised. Some are, fighting good fight and being advocates and whatnot, are 30 and 40 somethings, that are struggling just to survive and to make it right. And many of them are losing traction every day at a rapid pace. A good friend of mine just told me today that they lost their job, and that's tragic. And it's like, all right, what are we going to do? How are we going to turn this around? And how do we turn it around, right? How did Tarra go, and many know Tarra's story, right? Going to prison and working on becoming an attorney, fighting that fight, being able to practice law, and then running for office and breaking that barrier, right? And now that door's open, that door is open for a lot of people to come through. All right, so that's that door is open for so many people, and so those ideas, that fresh perspective, can come from there. And I think that's, I know that the change that's going to come is going to come from the voices that haven't been heard, that haven't been elevated. Sabrina, how you doing today? Today's event?
This is great. This is so awesome. I'm so honored and just so lucky to be here.
Pretty good turnout, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we're here covering Tarra Simmons campaign kickoff. Nice, a lot of folks coming in, and we started at 5:30, and I mean this place got filled quick. It was so fast. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna check in from time to time and have conversation again that you could join us today for this.
I can go to a play.
Say it's
This may be networking until 6. I'm not sure. We just wanted to make sure that we kind of covered it. I said I know the event started at 5:30, and so I didn't want to miss out and give folks time to tune in. An itinerary or an agenda. If I come across one, I'll type it in the chat and just kind of let people know when to
Everyone else is like. Gina.
Hello? Hello? Oh, I got it. Yeah. Thank you everyone for being here. We're going to get started with our program in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a minute if people want to settle in. Okay, everyone, we're going to get started. If folks want to find a seat. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, Hi, everyone. We're going to get started. If you could please take a seat. Yeah, just right in here.
Uh-oh, I had another one. Let's see if I can find things oh.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for being here with us. It seems like the sun is coming out, which is just great. Well, I first wanted to start off with our first speaker, Treasurer Danita Holmes from the Suquamish tribe. So thank you.
Ha Slachel, Twagwalapu, Gwalapu de Ished, Danita Holmes Seedsta, Sokwab Chad, To Alt Chad, Du Sokwab, Slaslel Chad, Du Sokwab. I just wanted to raise my hands up to each and every one of you for being here tonight. My name is Danita Holmes. I am the Suquamish Council Treasurer, New Suquamish Tribe. I am here to, thank you. I am here to building owned and operated by the I am just here to welcome you all to the traditional homelands of the Suquamish people. Thank you for allowing me to open up this event, and I'm very honored to be standing here next to Tarra. And on behalf of the Suquamish tribe and myself and my family included, we created this little democratic blue cedar, cordage, and abalone necklace and earring set that I wanted to present to you. So thank you again so much. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And next up, we have one of Tarra's dear friends and supporters, Drayton Jackson.
This is a great turnout. So one, I'm honored. Thank you for just allowing me to brace the presence, be with you and your support as well. I repeated this story a number of times when Tarra took me out to have coffee, which we never actually had coffee. We just sat and talked, and it was for 3 hours. Great conversation. And what I got out of that was somebody that was passionate, somebody that said, if I get a chance, trust me, I will do what I need to do. And I know, between Head Start and other avenues that I sat in, I was able to really hear from legislators that I've known for a long time. Is like, man, you guys got one over there, man. And this legislative session showed me a lot of who you are and why we need you back in there. I did this to her when they kept 3 o'clock in the morning, and I texted her and I was like, stay good. Are you all right? And she hit back and said, I'm in a good fight right now. This is hard. And it made me just say, wow, okay. This is somebody that's doing the job and doing the work. And I think a lot of times what we get, I say this everywhere I go, that we have 3 of the most powerful legislators in our state, right? And it is something that I think a lot of other people take for granted. And when you have a team, a dynamic duo that understands what their constituents, not just wants, but what their constituents needs to grow in your community, that's somebody that you have to get behind. So when I say I support her, it is not without me saying that I really support her. I said, do you want me to come up to Olympia? I said, let me know if it's getting rough. Let me know. And I think we all have to do that. What is getting ready to happen in the next couple of years is going to be life-changing to this country. And we need people to show up. We don't need people to sit down. We don't need people to be scared. We don't need people to run. We need people that are sitting in office that are going to do the damn job. And not only do it, but do it with honor and do it with respect for our country. So with that said, I have the honor of introducing one of my heroes who I go, because I'm originally from New York, and when I go back to New York, I know the Attorney General there very well because she comes from Brooklyn, and she and I had a great conversation. It's like, man, if I could just get like him, man. And I know you've heard it from her, but I think we have somebody that really stands up for the small people when it comes to businesses and us taking advantage. And when you have dynamic duos like we have, not just from kids sitting in a seat that is powerful enough to make sure people are responsible, that's people that we make sure that we cannot lose, that we have to support. So thank you, and Bob Ferguson.
Thank you. I just came all the way from North Seattle to ask everybody a very important question. Are you all ready to send Tarra Simmons back to the state legislature? That was pretty good, Drayton, but not quite good enough. Are you ready to send Tarra back to the state legislature? That's more like it. That is more like it. Hey, first, shout out to Drayton. Give him a huge round of applause. That's that is a tough act to follow, Drayton. So thank you for that, and a big round of applause for the Suquamish tribe for really everything they do for our state, for our community, and this event as well for Tarra. I know we're so. Got a few minutes. So here's what I want to focus on. It's a challenging time in our country and our state. Every time you pick up the newspaper, right, it seems like it's tough news a lot of the time. And so for me, the way I deal with that is really three ways. Number one, I focus on my work, try to live up to what Drayton was saying, right? That's number one. Number two, I focus on my kids and spend most of my time driving my 14-year-old softball throwing daughter pitcher around the softball tournaments. And number three is realizing how important it is, more than ever, to make sure we do all we can, and I do all I can, to support quality, passionate candidates for office at every level of government who shares my values. Am I right about that? We can't control a lot of what's going on, right? But there are more than 100 people in this room. I could count, right? This group of people right here working together can make the difference of making sure we return back to the state legislature a fighter for the people of this district and the state. Are you going to do that? Yeah. Absolutely. So I want to give you, in my 3 minutes left, my top 3 reasons why I'm supporting Tarra to be returned to the state legislature. I could give you top 10 like Letterman, but I've only got time for 3, Drayton. So I'm giving you 3. So number one, the more I do politics, the more obvious it becomes, and this is not a news flash, but the more obvious it is, the more apparent it is that when decisions are being made, the powerful always have a voice at the table. They always have a voice at the table. They can afford to pay for a high-priced lobbyist. They can afford to write big checks with dark money to get the person they want elected to influence a budget or a policy at the local or state or national level. There are also, unfortunately, a lot of folks who do not have a voice at the table, right? The poor, the disenfranchised, you know that. Yeah. That's why, in my view, having someone who brings the voice to that table of those individuals is so important. And look, with Tarra, it's not just someone who brings that voice, you know her background. She is that voice, literally speaking, right? And she brings that to the table every single day as a state legislator. And look, I can tell you, you know this, she's never forgotten where she came from. How could you? Right. How could you, right? I've never had that experience, but I can't really imagine what that would be like, honestly, right? And so, but it is clear when you're around Tarra, look, she's not mingling with the rich and powerful. When you look at the bills she proposes, it's not bills she's looking up for the rich and powerful. They've got lots of advocates. They don't need a whole lot more. The disenfranchised, do they need an advocate? Yes. Have they got one in Tarra? Yes. That's reason number one. Reason number two, she is tenacious and she's a fighter. That's really 2 reasons, Drayton, but I'm kind of combining if that's okay. So she, as a person coming through a difficult time, decides she wanted to be a lawyer. And many of you are familiar with the story. The State Bar Association, guess what they said when she tried to become a lawyer? No. You're a convicted felon, we're really sorry, can't do that. A lot of people, most people, almost anybody, let's be honest, would have stopped at that point. There aren't many people I know who have said, you know what, State Bar Association, I'm gonna sue you. I'm taking you to court, all the way to the state Supreme Court. And guess what happened? She won. Reason number 3, reason for tonight is, look, there are a lot of politicians out there who use, I think, and who have qualities I admire, but candidly, they're not all that effective, right? They get isolated in some way, they can't work with their colleagues in some way, whatever it is, right? They're just not that effective at really getting things done. They're a good vote, and that's important, don't get me wrong, but they're not really leading on things that I particularly care about. But Tarra, we do not have. She has proven in a very short period of time that she's a leader on the issues that she and we care about. And look, we have enough politicians, Drayton, you really mentioned it, right? Who play it safe, who are cautious, who want the job and want to get reelected, and that's the top priority for them. That's a fact. It's a fact. We need more politicians who share our values and are willing to fight for those values, stick their neck out for those values, risk some personal comfort and some criticism for those values. Am I right about that? Tarra does that. 2 quick examples. She led on a bill to restore voting rights for over 20,000 once they're released from custody, right? I mean, that is a real life-changing result for thousands of Washingtonians who did not have a voice in our system. Another example, and I'll be brief, I could go on all day about this, but part of my job is we enforce a law in our state, which is we have a law that provides, if you have medical debt, which is a huge driver of homelessness and all kinds of issues. But we have a law in our state that if you're at a certain income level, you qualify for what's called charity care, assistance with your medical debt. And that can be significant of your out-of-pocket expenses and can really be a challenge for many, many hardworking Washingtonians. Well, the law was so narrow that if you were a single parent working 2 minimum wage jobs for 50 hours a week, you did not qualify for it. Okay, great, we had the law, but I thought, hey, maybe we should change that. And so as attorney, I can propose laws. And I thought, well, who in the state legislature might be interested? Guess who I called, Drayden? I called Tarra. I said, hey, Tarra, and Tarra had her own personal experience, which she might share. So we teams together, and Tarra was the prime sponsor of a bill that now dramatically increases the number of hardworking Washingtonians, literally millions more, this medical assistance because of her hard work. Get up for Tarra for that incredible job. So lastly, I know that that before I have Tarra come up here, I think Drew Hansen is here somewhere. Am I right? Drew, here somewhere? He's somewhere. I think Drew's there. He's in the back. He's doing. You're doing the ask later on, right? Yeah. I'm not doing the ask, but donate. When Drew says donate, okay, donate, because we have in this district a fighter who shares your values, who's had a tough go of it, but persevered, took on the State Bar Association, takes on the powerful to advocate for you. And she wins. And she wins. So get on your feet, give a big round of applause for your legislator, Tarra Simmons.
Oh my gosh, it is so emotional for me to be here and to see all of you. It's been a really long time since we've been able to be together as a community, and to have so many of my beautiful neighbors and community members here from such different walks of life. It just, makes me speechless, really, that you believe in me to this level. It warms my heart. It makes my day, especially some of you know my son went to join the Marines yesterday, and so he's at boot camp. So I've been a little emotional about it, and so you all really give me the strength to keep fighting. First, I just want to acknowledge officials in the room. Not because I think the electeds are the most important, but because it's tradition, honestly. Because I really don't. But I do want to say thank you to obviously our Attorney General Bob Ferguson. Yes, thank you. He came all the way from North Seattle, like that's a big deal, and that means a lot to me. Also, we have Bainbridge City Council member Brenda Von Troy Johnson here. Where are you, Brenda? Yeah. She's amazing. Bremerton City Council woman Jennifer Chamberlain. Where are you? There she is. We have Paulsville City Council member Ed Stern. Yes. Oh, I'm getting to Sherry. We have our Kitsap County prosecutor, Chad Enright, dear friend of mine. Kitsap County Sheriff, John Giese, friend of mine as well. And our Kitsap County Auditor, Paul Andrews. Where are you, Paul? Right there. Of course, my amazing, loving seatmate, brother Drew Hansen, is here. And Drayton is a school board director, but not here in that capacity. We've made that clear, but he is also an elected official. So give another hand for Drayton. Did I miss any elected officials? No? Okay. Well, they are not the most important people in the room. The most important people in the room are you all, the everyday, hardworking people who are giving back to our community in so many different ways. And it has been the honor of my lifetime to serve you in the last 2 years. I have a lot of work left to But I know that I am bringing forward our share that I've been able to do with your support and by you electing me was pass the voting rights bill. That was my freshman bill, by the way. The funny thing is when I joined the legislature, everyone's like, your freshman bill should be like renaming a road or something. I'm like, I didn't work that hard to get here to know. I only got 2 years. I mean, 2 more years aren't promised. This is my freshman bill. And, and it really is now one of the most progressive bills in legislation in the whole, yeah. Because everybody who lives in our community should have a voice and a stake in solutions in our community. And so I was really happy about that. Other bills that I've been able to pass were around behavioral health and making sure that our behavioral health system is working. I know the root cause of crime a lot of times is behavioral health issues. So I passed a bill to create a statewide Office of Behavioral Health Consumer Advocacy to look into system in our substance use disorder treatment centers and make sure that people there have the advocates they need. And then obviously the charity care bill, that was huge this session with Bob's help, really restoring, increasing the charity care level so people under 400% of the federal poverty level don't have medical debt that drives them into bankruptcy. Healthcare access is huge for our entire community. It doesn't matter where you come from, we all need healthcare. So that was a huge win for me as well. A couple of others have to do with easing reentry. Because of my background being the first and only formerly incarcerated person in any legislature in our nation, I find my experience in knowing what the community, what this population needs to be successful and not go back to crime as something that's my responsibility to lead on because it's been neglected for so long. But all of us want a safe community. All of us want to feel safe, right? But why are people committing crime? Oftentimes it's because they have no other option. They have no support. And especially when people come home from prison, it is egregious that we release them with $40 and a bus ticket and no housing into homelessness. Thank you. So I've been working to pass legislation to fix the reentry process, including now no matter what, we'll have a 6-month housing voucher when you're released from prison, so you're not released into homelessness. And now people will also have more options to deal with their court fines and fees. So their Burger King paycheck isn't being garnished to pay those off, the court fines and fees. And also removing some barriers to healthcare jobs for people who have criminal history, who have changed their lives. We have a nursing shortage. We have a healthcare workforce shortage. But people like me are often just automatically excluded from healthcare jobs. We can come together. We made a small adjustment in-home care providers for that, but we have a lot more works from all walks of life. We need more x-ray technicians and lab techs. I mean, it's a huge issue. So that's what I'm committed to continuing to work on if you send me back. Also, we were able to pass a huge transportation package for our district, bringing in money for ferries and the Kingston realignment project. But some of my favorite things were being able to do budget provisos to invest here locally in our community. Was able to get $1.5 million for the Rejuvenation Community Center that will be a place where our unhoused neighbors can go to take showers and find respite. It's for the Foundation of Poverty and Homelessness, which Drayton Jackson runs. So it's really wonderful to have someone like Drayton who has lived experience of being unhoused, leading in our community on solutions. And it was great to be able to partner in his vision and for a new center in East Bremerton that will help people that are unhoused. Also was able to bring home some things for the Kitsap Mental Health education program that they have for kids that need, non-traditional education that have mental health issues. Got a second classroom there, expanded our investments in the Illahee Preserve, which is a place where a lot of us go to find our own mental health and respite. The Welcome Home program, which provides wraparound services for people coming out of the Kitsap County Jail. Paulsbo firefighters have a program that helps people with behavioral health issues, and they have a firefighter and a behavioral health worker go out together, and I was able to get money for that. So I know Paulsbo is happy for that. Yeah. And one of the biggest things I've really done in the last 2 years is continue to work on public safety and criminal justice, but also to expand and analyze my own bias towards law enforcement and really start to build those relationships. You know, I came from a background where law enforcement often took my father away to prison or jail, often took me to prison or jail. And so I never really looked at law enforcement as a friend. But thankfully, our new interim Kitsap County Sheriff, John Giese, has really sat with me and taken time with me and many meetings to build a strong and trusting relationship. And I just went out on a ride along with a police officer. And so I'm learning to both be critical, but also warm and to walk this, because in my heart of hearts, the way I've been effective is because I do collaborate with people. And I don't put up this us versus them. Legislation has passed with bipartisan support. And those same principles, I have, Chad Enright, the prosecutor, and I, made a great friendship many years ago. I think he was at my swearing in ceremony. I met with him before he even ran to be prosecutor. And now I absolutely trust Chad as my friend and someone I can call when I have a question about something. And if something doesn't look right, I can call and hear. And then I'm not thinking things are a certain way. I've been able to build relationships with them and bring that to the Public Safety Committee and make police reform. And we did want accountability. We do want transparency, but we also need to build the system that is fair and just for everyone and keeps us safe and also treats the underlying condition. Anyway, throughout my work with them, I've been able to lead on public safety and criminal justice legislature through a racial equity lens. I'm never going to not look at how legislation is impacting people of color first. Racial and social justice is my primary motivator. But working together has been amazing. The other things I've been able to do, and I'm almost done, is supporting my awesome seatmates. Senator Wolfes is not here, but she is a leader on environmental justice and climate change, which is huge for our district. And it's been a real honor to be able to work and support her and support her budget decisions too for our community in the House, and be able to pull her bills from rules, because I'm on the Rules Committee, and just be able to, we work really, really well together. And then my amazing seatmate, Representative Johansson, who is here, so he gets a gold star. But, on higher education, on broadband access, and overall, probably the smartest legislator that we have, and one of the most humble and kind. And I have the honor of serving as his vice chair. He's the chair of Civil Rights and Judiciary, which is a big topic, and a lot of policy comes through there. And I have the honor of being his vice chair and learning from him, and he takes time to invest in me. So I am grateful that I get to support him too. Whenever he has a bill that's in rules, it becomes number one for the poll. So I've really enjoyed the last 2 years and being able to work with my seatmates. So also, one last thing I've been able to do is stop bad things from happening. Sometimes things come up, and I know that they would be harmful to our vulnerable communities in certain ways. And so I've been able to put a stop to those. And none of this would have been possible if Representative Sherry Apple wouldn't have opened the door for me. So it is. Representative Sherry Appleton is here tonight, and it's really special to me because I haven't seen her for a while. We never got to celebrate her retirement in a proper form because of COVID-19. I just want to say thank you, Sherry. You were a fighter for this district for 16 years. You paved the way for me. You opened the door for me. You saw in me what I didn't see in myself. I never thought I would run for office ever until she asked me to. And she saw in me a fighter and someone to carry on the torch. And Sherry, I love you. And I'm so grateful you're here tonight. And I hope that everyone can give her a hug before she leaves. Thank you. So, I know our shared values. Our shared values in this district are some of the things that we are contending with nationally right now, like protecting the right to choose, banning mass shootings and having responsible gun legislation, keeping our communities safe, providing equitable health care to all people, including our undocumented neighbors, making critical investments in behavioral health and affordable housing, and addressing climate change, and keeping our environment safe and our salmon running. So because of your belief in me, I've been able to make some progress on a lot of these issues over the last 2 years, and I've been able to represent our families and our friends, but I have a lot more left to do. So I am grateful for all of you. You all contribute to my strength and continued tenacity in certain ways, whether that's through social media or going for a walk with me. A lot of you have cooked meals for me, or we've gone out to meals or coffees, and I can't do this without you and encouragement and support. So I would be honored if you send me back for another 2 years. If you're here, it's obvious that you probably are gonna vote for me. So thank you. Thank you, my friends. Now I get to call up my amazing, awesome seatmate.
Your seatmate. Yay! Okay, another round of applause for Tarra Simmons. Let's go! Woo! Okay, so this has been really fun tonight. It is so nice to see people in person. It really is. But this night is not about fun. Okay, this is about funds. Okay, there's a D in that word. This is a fundraiser. This is not a fundraiser. We're raising funds. That's why I'm here. So some of you all know, I grew up in the church. My mom is a retired minister in the Evangelical Covenant Church of America. We have a lot of church people here. I saw Alice McCain from my church. My pastor, Sonia Solo, is here. So we have good church representation. So if you're from the church, you know that this time of the service is this is what we call the altar call. So I would like to invite you to enter into a personal relationship with the Tarra Simmons camp. If you have already given your heart to Tarra, I would like to invite you to deepen your discipleship journey. Now, at church, we have a moment where we pass around a plate and you can put a little envelope in it. We call that a time and talent survey at my church. Time is like how you can volunteer. Talent is not skills. Talent in the Bible is money. So we're going to do a little time and talent survey here. We have Bridget and others who are coming around with, guess what, envelopes. And you can fill them out with your time, but particularly with your talents. Or you can scan the QR code as you leave and you can give. Or you can go to electtarrasimmons.com. Okay, there's 2 keys in the electtarrasimmons.com. Or you can do all of that. And look, y'all, you don't have to church when the church needs a new roof. The pastor says, okay, look, whatever y'all thought you were going to get here tonight, you're going to have to do a little bit better than that because you're not giving sacrificially. And so what we are hoping for tonight is sacrificial giving. So that you can send this extraordinary representative back to God's word, literally, that's not a joke, doing literally God's word and the word of the people. Give it up for Tarra Simmons.
All right, I think that concludes our program, so we can go back to mingling, and thank you all for coming. We'll stay around for like another half hour.
mean, I'll do it at some point, but like this is right. It's gotta be about me. You don't have to set the home. You can get a better edge. Absolutely. It's hard to get that's very cute.
All right, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this broadcast. I know that it was good to see and experience some of the things that you talked about. Homelessness, having more resources for folks that are coming out of incarceration definitely resonated with me. This is the population that we serve. And we see folks that have nothing, nowhere to go. And oftentimes, they're on probation and they're released back into the county that they committed the crime in, and they need to separate themselves from, their situation. And where do they go? And if there's no resources, if they can't live, if they can't, make enough money to apartment, then you're in survival mode. So you're giving what you know to survive. Right? Or, like, hey, man, the world doesn't care about me. So, I'm going to do drugs, I'm going to drink, I'm going to do whatever. And then that ends up being the situation. So, if we don't support people, one, the prison industrial complex isn't designed for rehabilitation. Right? This is a storehouse. So, and it's the reason why recidivism is so high. And then they get out, and there's no opportunities. They don't qualify for FAFSA, depending on what they've done. They don't qualify for housing, depending on what they've done. If they have a parent that has children, or a girlfriend that has children, or a sister that has children, he's on the system, and he can't be there in that space. So now he's just wondering and trying to figure it out. What is he supposed to do? But you tell him, well, pull yourself up from your bootstraps if only you try harder, right? And you can see it. Look at the violence that's happening nationwide. Folks losing on planes, folks driving miles to kill people in the black people in the store. The violence is ridiculous. Shooting in traffic, road rage. Folks are feeling like, I don't have anything to lose. And society doesn't care. We got to do something, and it is up to us to do it. We can't be apathetic to it. We have been for so long, and watch homelessness steadily increase, right? It's the invisible thing. We know about it, doesn't really affect us. Maybe we know someone who's experienced homelessness. Maybe we have ourselves temporarily. Maybe we become disenfranchised because we put ourselves up for it. And we're thinking, well, I worked hard, I got myself out of it, but they can't too. We don't know what their challenges are because they're unique to each person. So what do you do? What do they do? Now, like you see more homelessness, and you see the urine, or you smell the urine, you see the homeless that are on the bridge walking off. That was how I remember it 15, 20 years ago, right? Then it considerably got worse and worse, and then you saw the tents and the homeless encampments, and it just continued to grow, and continue to grow. How you doing there, sir? Where now it's an issue. It's affecting the property values, right? You feel it's not safe for your kids to go outside and play and to walk. Now there's a crisis. So what are we going to do? But we have to be the ones to do it. That is the question. You are the answer. You are the answer. What I'll say about Tarra is I appreciate her daring to make a change. And I hope that more of us will dare to make a change. So with that, thank you so much for joining us for Representative Tarra Simmons' 23rd Legislative District campaign kickoff. Continue to bring you current events here in Kickoff County. The latest and greatest news. Hope that you will stay with us. Please subscribe, like, and share. And we will see you tomorrow, actually, at noon for ticket quotes and puzzle pieces. And then at 3 p.m., we have our housing conversation with the Housing Authority and Kickoff Community Resources. Also, do not forget, the Senate won't open until May 20. That's Friday, May 20 at 4 p.m. Pacific. So, please go ahead and sign up. We're there for you if you need it. All right? Again, thank you so much. I am Marwan Cameron for Alicia, Keyshawn, Sabrina, and myself. This is